Hello and welcome to the Aftermath Podcast. My name is Ian, and as always, I'm joined by Dylan.
Godzilla.
And today, there's a few times when we do this podcast where circumstances line up perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool night. We're watching a Godzilla movie.
Mm-hmm.
We're having some nice hot tea, and then it starts raining. And it's like, oh, what a vibe, dude.
Yeah.
It starts raining outside, and I'm sitting here like, man, it's freaking cozy.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool. It felt good, and I was like, and so we're out here in the studio, and I'm like, man, I'm just having a vibe right now.
Yeah.
And so that happened. That happened as we're watching this Godzilla movie.
Mm-hmm. Stormed its ass off because we didn't know we were watching the Big G.
Exactly. And it felt amazing. But again, to kind of just jump headfirst into this episode, we watched Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2.
Yeah.
And wow.
Yeah.
What a great... I mean, it's a Godzilla movie.
Did you really expect
no,
anything else?
I got exactly what I expected out of it. Again, as we have mentioned on this podcast
Never
before,
fails.
you just got to go into Godzilla movies just expecting to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
You're not here for crazy... Sometimes you may get some cool character development. Sometimes you get some cool visual effects, some funny fight scenes, but like, just buckle up and have a good time.
Yeah.
Don't think too much about it. It's just silly fun. And
It's perfect.
It's perfect. And they do exactly what they set out to do. in that kind of that vibe, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I have the art pulled up, like the poster art for this, and I'm looking at it and like, man, does it go hard as hell?
Mm-hmm.
If you have you have the chance to look up Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2, there's like this beautiful. It looks like a painting of some kind,
Mm-hmm.
and in the background you have this very cool interpretation of Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
You have Godzilla in the middle ground, and then in the foreground you have Rodan of the fire demon variety.
And all of the Heisei era like cover arts are the fucking best.
Dude.
Like they're insurmountably hard to top.
I mean, it looks like
The only one that I think even comes close is the one for Final Wars.
Okay, let me pull that up really quick.
Man, it's got a couple of, but the one you'd see on like the side of the theater features every fucking monster
Right.
that's in the movie, as well as like Godzilla up at the top, the human cast at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Crazy.
Top tier stuff.
Top tier, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing before we get started on this episode,
Yeah.
is we've hold on one second, let me pull this stuff up and get myself figured out here.
Right. I noticed you didn't take any notes this time. Because you can't.
What do you
can't.
say? What do you say? Again, like I said, I only take notes on occasion for certain. Sometimes if I feel like I'm a bit tired, or if
it's
I feel
a snooze fest.
Yeah, no, not just a snooze fest. But if it's just like if there's it's only rarely that I do that where I do like, and even if I don't make a big deal out of it, I just have a few bullet points that I kind of will read off of like things that I've gone through.
Yeah.
Or certain important story critical movies where I feel like there's a lot that takes place. I want to remember, especially like little minute details of like my second viewing of something.
Right.
Like what we did with the Valley of the Wind last week.
Oh yeah.
Which is what Dylan's referencing. But for this one, whenever we got started and I saw the big Mecha King Ghidorah's head, I was like, no.
Right. What was the last Godzilla movie we watched?
Oh, wow.
Because it's been a while.
What a great question.
I have a feeling it was one of the Showa era films.
I think the last one we watched was with Ethan.
Right.
I believe. And we were showing him, I think, a Showa era one.
Are you sure? I
Maybe,
don't think he's seen any of them yet.
Well, maybe not. hold on, give me just 1 second. If you're talking about for the podcast, I know for a fact I can pull that up. But if you're talking about the ones with Ethan that we didn't record,
oh yeah, no, just like for the podcast.
let's see for the podcast. Let me pull this up. Hold on. Godzilla.
Actually increased the size of the font for those episodes.
Oh, okay,
so he can read them if he decides to give us a listen.
Who, Ethan?
Godzilla.
Oh, Godzilla. Oh, sorry. I wasn't catching on. I didn't know we were catering towards that demographic.
Of course, man. That's his fucking legacy.
Got it. Okay. Well, so I'm not sure if this one definitely counts, but I'm not sure if it counts in the thing you're talking about. In October of last year, we watched Godzilla -1 with Ethan. Was the last one we watched for the podcast.
Okay, I got you.
And then the one before that would have been February of last year, and that was Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack. Oh my god, that's wild!
Jesus.
I can't believe that we only watched 2 in 24.
That is ridiculous. Oh my god!
Holy shit! I thought I could. Am I tripping?
No.
I've got it.
That's probably right.
I thought we watched.
I know for a fact it's been forever since we watched a Godzilla flick.
I thought we threw out Godzilla films like they were candy.
Nah, we had a decent streak going, but it feels like we've spaced them out a pretty decent amount.
Because before that was September of 23, where we watched Godzilla, King of Monsters, and then before that, the week before was Godzilla 2014. I could have I don't think that's right.
Yeah,
That's what I could have swore.
Off here.
Something's off here. Something's off. Is there? Am I wrong in thinking?
I know for a fact we got Final Wars in there somewhere.
Final Wars was before 2014, so it was 2023.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, God.
Something doesn't seem right because I thought we did. I thought we did a bunch of them. And last year, I thought we threw in a handful of them.
I mean, like, what's the total amount of Godzilla flicks we've done for the podcast?
Let's look and see.
It's got to be in the double digits.
I could have swore am I not mistaken that all of them start with Godzilla? Am I wrong?
No, I mean they should.
That's what I'm saying. So right now, I just typed in Godzilla in the search bar, and it says 6.
Oh, what?
There's no way.
No.
There's no way.
What the hell?
Something screwy is going on.
I mean, there's Shin Godzilla.
But still, Godzilla is in the title.
Right, yeah.
I have to.
This cannot
be.
I could have sworn.
We do I thought we did these quarterly.
Oh, dude.
You know what I mean? It feels like it, right?
This is a dishonor upon our name.
Folks at home, let us know. Okay. Oh, so I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. They all do not start with Godzilla. I just started scrolling up and I see Ghidorah, the 3-headed monster.
Oh yeah,
is on here. So and that one was June of this year. So that was sooner.
June of 25 already.
I'm already June of 24.
God damn.
This past June is what I should have said.
I'm already older.
Apologies.
Motherfucker's time traveling over here.
Yeah, you know. I'm just one step ahead.
He's ahead of the curve.
I'm 6 months ahead already.
Yeah.
Anyways, what was I saying?
So talking about Ghidorah, the 3-headed monster.
Oh, the second we saw the Mecha King Ghidorah's head, I was like, I know exactly what we're in for.
Because we watched Godzilla, the Heisei, Godzilla versus King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
We've watched both of the OG Mechagodzilla films.
Yeah.
Watched Godzilla versus Megalon.
Yep.
What else? Oh, God.
I mean, I could have sworn we watched a whole bunch of these for the podcast.
We definitely have, yeah.
But
we have watched Godzilla versus Destroyer.
Now that one, I don't think we did for the podcast.
Are you sure?
Let me check the receipts.
Yeah, let's just make sure because I did want to save that one.
We did watch Destroya.
Fuck.
And what? And Destroya. No. So we did watch that one, but I don't think it was for the podcast.
Oh,
is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Let me do this again. This again. Let's go. I'm sorry, I preemptively scared Dylan.
No, it's fine.
Shit! Why did it go so small? No. don't do that.
Oh, he's got the human font.
I got microscopic on that bitch.
Got the Shobijin font.
Okay, so we got. Okay, so.
Oh no!
I think someone tricked me. Something's not right.
Mm-hmm.
We got 17 on the list now.
Oh, okay.
I typed in Godzilla and it says 17 popped up now.
Mm-hmm.
-1. Monsters All Out Attack.
Right.
King of Monsters. 2014. Final Wars. Versus King Ghidorah. 2000. Millennium.
Mm-hmm.
We got stop. We got.
I keep thinking about the title.
Yes. Oh gosh. Yeah, the title was great. We call it Vor for those who didn't know. We got Tokyo SOS.
Mm-hmm.
We got.
God, those are the best.
We got Against Mechagodzilla.
Mm-hmm.
We got Terror of Mechagodzilla. Which I like that one. That one was fighting in Starfield. I like that. We got Versus Mechagodzilla.
God, we just had a fucking Mechagodzilla binge.
We got Versus Megalon, and then we got Shin Godzilla. Those are all the ones we've done. So Destroya is not on there, and Space Godzilla is not on there.
Oh,
Segue, I didn't know. We watched Space Godzilla, but we didn't do it for the podcast. I didn't know this, but it says a sequel to this film is Godzilla versus Space Godzilla, which was released in December of 1994. I didn't know that Space Godzilla came after this movie, which is kind of interesting. So,
you know how I mentioned, like, as the movie was on with the loose continuity?
Right, yeah.
I could have fucking sworn we had watched Space Godzilla for the podcast.
I
remember coming up with a title for it and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you think? What'd you come up with?
I don't know. It was like something having to do with crystals because of what he turned the city into.
That is a good idea.
But I mean, if it's just not on there, then I have to be hallucinating.
We got Bone of Godzilla,
Revenge of the Bone of Godzilla.
Yeah, we got literally the next one, Revenge of the Bone of Godzilla.
Uh-huh.
We got Vor. We got we got Duel of the Megasaurians. Oh man, that's so funny.
Uh-huh.
The Kaiju's Elbow, Cataclysmic Creatures, Royal Rumble, Large Monsters Total Attack, Sega Kaiju Fishing. Oh man. So anyways, we watched a handful of these wonderful movies. We gotta get these numbers up. These are rookie numbers.
Fucking weak.
I know, dude. I love these movies so much. They're just a fun vibe.
Oh yeah.
I would heavily encourage anybody at home, if you have the ability to watch a good Godzilla film.
You can't go wrong.
It's a fun, big monster flick that just deals with some kind of wacky sci-fi elements that are just fun. And it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't understand it for the longest time. For those of you who have listened to this podcast for any length of time, that have listened to any of the nearly 15 episodes, the dozen episodes we've done about Godzilla, you all know, supposedly, you all know the lore of how I got involved in watching Godzilla. So I won't bore you with those details again, but I didn't understand it for the longest time. And then after getting the hang of a couple of the older movies and kind of just releasing all of the preconceived ideas and all that stuff.
Godzilla destroy the wheel.
Right. I was like, okay, I get it.
Yep.
And I think that has shaped me into a new person that is allowed to, because I used to be the person that used to strive to have, like, to enjoy a really good story. I loved character development. I love getting, and I still love that. That is still something that I think this podcast shows that I enjoy very, very much. But I think after watching these just big monster flicks, it has made me appreciate films that are just here to have fun, that are artistic expressions in their own way, and that are kind of just not bad for the sake of being bad, because I think that can be a bit cringy, but like
It's the difference between something like Velocipaster and...
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That like you made something like with the intention of it being bad. Whereas this was like there's a
soul.
There's a charm to
There's
it.
passion in there.
Right. There were people there that were putting in their work to make
passion of the kaiju.
Yeah, to make a good movie, and it was probably going to be a little wacky along the way.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I love that. It's charming. And like I said, watching these movies has made me appreciate that in other aspects of us. We have watched other movies on this podcast before, where I'm like, this was just feel good.
Right.
There's been a lot of anime we've watched like that, or even like TV shows for things that I'm like, it feels good. Right. So,
but with these, it's like a precious collection of gems that I keep locked away.
Oh yeah.
And anytime I would just want to look at one, I have them all.
It's like his Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah. Oh,
he has all of his Chaos Emeralds away. I will say, ever since you got that big book that has all the like collections of him, I was like, that's such a good
one of my crowning jewels, of which there are a few.
There's many.
Yeah.
I remember being in the Barnes and Noble and looking at that, being like, that's a really good.
Oh yeah,
that's a really good grab. So, anyways,
I can only imagine how much it's going for now.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Few hundred, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, anyways, this was a fun night. Ethan was supposed to be heading over, but I think he got caught up with homework stuff,
right?
As you can imagine.
He's a busy boy.
So it was getting late, and I was like, Dylan, not sure what you want to do, not sure what you want to watch, but I think it's going to be just us two tonight. And he's like, all right. And of course,
time is now.
He was in the middle of cooking up some food, and he turned like over his shoulder and gave me like this little like the little like side eye, and he's like, I have something in mind. And I was like, what is it? What is that? And he's like, you'll find out. And I was like, damn it. And of course, perfect timing. Like I made tea. We sat down.
Stars alive.
Yeah. We started watching this movie. Like I said, then it starts raining, and I'm like, oh, I could just sit here and vibe out, dude.
Big comp.
Yeah. So, this movie has. Does it take? So I'm assuming it takes place loosely after. Mecha King Ghidorah.
Right. It's a sequel to the Heisei King Ghidorah film.
So have we watched that one?
Yes.
I think we have. Because I remember him being turned into like a mecha King Ghidorah for
They just drop off these three doofy ass looking Dorats in the past.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And after the nuke, they merge into the three-headed golden dragon.
I remember I hated those creatures.
Yeah.
I remember in the podcast, I talked about how much I vehemently hated them. And then whenever they left them in the pod, I was like, I now know what they're setting up for, and I'm pissed.
Yep.
I was like, you mean to tell me that's what King Ghidorah is?
Yeah.
Or these scruffy looking little bitches?
Little fucking gremlins.
I hate this.
Yeah. What a glow up though, huh?
I'm not sure about that.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah. So anyways, this movie takes place after the events of that. And
Japan got the bright idea to scavenge the remains of the future tech that we used to constitute Mecha King Ghidorah.
Right.
After it was destroyed by Godzilla.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
I mean, it's no shocker.
But, they figure out how to reverse engineer the technology that they know nothing about.
Hey.
And make a very sleek, new, shiny Mechagodzilla.
Super nice.
With armor plating made of synthetic crystals.
Synthetic diamonds.
Yeah.
Hell
straight up.
Yeah.
That shit, Godzilla throws out a couple beams just to soften them up, and that shit just glides right off.
Bounces off of them.
It's beam resistant.
Yep.
Dude's got a fine coating on there.
And I will say, Godzilla be throwing the beams out.
Oh, yeah.
This one. He's just like,
he's yucking them out all over.
He just starts spitting that shit everywhere.
But man, one of my favorite is it's like the first encounter that they have with Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
Is after Godzilla just like tries everything or gets pelted with like beams, missiles, the fucking plasma grenade.
Oh yeah, the belly buster.
Right. Ugh, dude. So he's thoroughly beaten to a pulp on the ground.
Right.
But not after he pulls the old gotcha.
Yeah.
By playing dead on the ground and then at the last second throwing out another atomic blast.
Yeah.
And it's able to stun Mechagodzilla for like a split second, but he just fucking lays into him with that plasma grenade.
Yeah.
And after that, they like fire these paralysis missiles at him and then just start tasing him to death.
Oh.
But before that, Godzilla causes an energy backflow.
Yeah.
And overloads the systems for this brand new spanking machine.
Right.
After which it is just like stunned in place, malfunctioning.
Yep.
Godzilla gets up like, what the fuck was
what
that?
Up?
And then just like walks up to him and just pushes him over and he's destroyed.
Like two toddlers on a playground.
Right.
He walks in and goes,
just
and
one good shove and that's it. You're done.
Yeah, those are my toys. And he just pushes them over.
Get the fuck out of my sandbox.
Yeah. It's my jungle gym, bitch.
So after he's on the ground, he just walks away.
Yeah.
And fucks up Kyoto after after swatting the gnats. That are the Japan's self-defense force.
There's a whole reporter on the horizon being like, we have to do something or else he's going to destroy Kyoto.
There are fires and explosions everywhere.
And dude, he's actively just like spitting shit and like
when he destroys.
Yeah.
What do you mean when? He's doing it right now.
We're watching it live on television.
Get out of here.
What are you still doing here?
Jesus.
Need I must say though, before we got a little ahead of ourselves, we start off with our main guy Aoki, and he is joining the what is it?
G force.
The UNGCC, United Nations Godzilla counteroffensive. I don't know.
Crew.
I don't know. Committee.
Right. Jesus.
And he starts off the conversation with this. Was it like a higher up that he was, or who was he? Or was
he was
after
he was found at the counter.
Yeah,
counter G committee crew.
Yeah, committee crew.
Right. And he's just like messing around with the Garuda.
Yeah.
Just yucking it up. And after a couple of scientists come and inspect the thing, he finds out that he's received a bit of a reinstatement or a new staging area for all intents.
He's been re-enlisted in like another department, which is this Godzilla counteroffensive.
Focused.
Yeah. Yeah, the G-force.
Right. This motherfucker describes himself in his own words as a dinosaur freak.
Yep. What a dork.
A loser type of geek, dude. And my God, he acts in the most insane ways you can imagine, like just busting into research facilities after they get a hold of this fucking egg, taking pictures like it's a tourist attraction.
And this is what I was talking about, is the fact that we started off with our main guy, and he's like he seems normal at first, maybe a bit secretive with the Garuda and all that stuff, and then whenever he's with the new department head and talking with him, and talks about the fact that he is a dinosaur freak and loves Pteranodons. And
the little flying ones.
Yeah, right. And gets, lambasted by this guy who's like,
where the hell do you think you are?
You're part of an elite force. Get your shit together.
This is an elementary school.
And then in the next couple of scenes, we got an expedition party on this like mountainside. Right. And then boom, what is it? A Pteranodon.
A big ass egg.
A big ass egg and a Pteranodon skeleton. We're like, what the?
This is.
I mean, it's hitting the nail on the head.
Some kind of insane cosmic joke.
I said out loud, I think I know a guy for this.
Man. He's gonna cream his pants as soon as he sees this.
Oh shit. But so they get their hands on this egg, and
by some twist of fate.
Wow.
Some act of divine providence that kept these people alive.
We look out on the horizon, and what do we see flying in? I say
quietly with no accompaniment.
No.
Rodan.
Mm-hmm. And I jokingly said, "Yo, is that Rodan?" I was saying that as a joke because I thought it was a Pteranodon.
No, man.
Coming back for its egg, and you straight up said, "Yeah, that's Rodan." I was like, I was joking.
Wait, no.
I was like, "Oh shit, that's actually Rodan." The fire demon's coming in.
He's small.
Yeah, he's just cruising. Okay, fine. Yeah, he perches up on this rock and just chills out for a while.
Right. They're just doing research in their tents, like yucking it about with this egg.
And need I remind you that at this point in the film, we have, for some reason, watched this film. And I think I know why, because it's only in this. We watched this with the English dub, which we usually never do.
No.
It's always English sub for the Godzilla films.
If we can. If at all possible.
Yeah, if at all possible.
But for these... It
just
doesn't give you the option to change it.
It was a bit cringy at times, but I don't think it was unwatchable.
The delivery is so fucking funny, dude.
The delivery is funny.
Like the one mayor or whoever the fuck that dude was who gets the phone call and he says, "Godzilla's attacking the city?"
Yeah.
Like,
no shit, Sherlock.
Word for word, man.
So... I preface that because in my mind, I have accepted that we've been, and again, at this point in time in the film, it's probably been 10 minutes in,
right?
Maybe even 15, who knows? So we haven't been super deep into this movie yet.
Right.
So it like I said, it is connected in my mind that we're watching it English subbed.
Right.
But in this turn of events, it has been without dialogue for enough time, and I have fully engrossed myself in the fact that I'm watching a Godzilla film that I have reverted back to old thinking or old frameworks, and I think you can see where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Rodan comes in and is perched up, and of course, all of our crew exits their tents and is looking around at what's going on. And then this one guy, they all end up looking over the horizon.
One dude says, "Look," and they somehow all missed.
Yeah,
this giant creature that just flew in and perched itself up on a plateau.
Right. They all get behind this little hill, and so they're all peeking over this hill. And this is where I thought that because again, even though it's in English, the subtitles still pop up.
Right.
So
immediately your brain goes to, this is
it's going to be. Language. I was expecting the subtitles pop up. I was expecting a Japanese man voice, and I heard, "What the hell's that?" And I was like, and for that split moment, I was like, I got so crossed up in my head where
wait a minute,
where it felt like I was watching those JoJo scenes, where where
fucking English,
English. He's where he's holy shit, and it threw me off where I heard that and I was like, I had a slap back to reality of oh shit, where am I right now? I was like, oh man, I thought I was locked in and I just got knocked out of it. I was like, oh my god,
I gotta get my shit together.
I was like, where am I right now? And I had to be honest, there was dialogue that happened directly afterwards. I was laughing too hard because I was like, I don't know where I'm at right now.
Right.
Rodan's here, and I'm like, what is happening?
I think you mean Radon.
Yeah, Radon. Oh, that pissed me off. The English voice actors kept saying Radon. I was like, oh my god.
I could not tell you why.
The most
or how.
The most boomer shit.
Unless it was a misprint on the script, then that's the only explanation I can think of.
I don't mean to don't mean to ostracize a percentage of our audience, but I've noticed there's a lot of things that
ostracized.
There's like boomers and like my parents. I've done before as well, but like specifically like I'll do it as a joke sometimes,
right.
or if I do it's a I will slip up on my words and I will correct myself and go like, that's funny.
Right.
Like earlier this afternoon, I said instead of saying Ghibli movie, I said Goobly Mivy. So funny. I had jokingly said Goobly, and I was like, damn. I stopped myself. I was like, that's funny.
But like Goobly, bro. You got too much Goobly in your brain.
Too much Goobly Mivy. Oh man. So anyways, like, but what I'm saying is like, there's been a couple of times where I'm talking
so
like some
stupid, man. All it takes is silly words. And stupid voices.
Oh man, that's what I'm talking about.
The sense of humor is fucking destroyed,
dude. Oh man. Oh shit.
Goobly.
Oh man, I have to write something down because I have to show you something later. I'm not gonna bog the podcast down with it. But I want to show you.
Yeah.
So, sorry, but there's been a couple of times where I've talked to older people. And they'll make those mistakes and then just like confidently say it and not understand their mistake. There's like a few people, like older people I've worked with in the past that have done that kind of stuff where like it's very obviously Rodan, but they'll look at the word and go, I don't know how to pronounce that. It's Radon. And I'm like, no, it's yeah. It's Rodan. And they'll go like, yeah. It's okay. So we'll go see Radon. I'm like,
no,
I've corrected you 3 times.
That's someo's name.
Yeah.
You don't mispronounce someone's name on purpose.
It's one thing if I make the mistake and I call it out and go, haha, I can't speak correctly. Right. It's another thing for me to correct you 3 times and you still say it wrong. It's like now it feels like
do that shit. I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, I am.
That's what I'm saying. So, anyways, I'm not saying that's what that was, but it gave me that feeling of like the guys in the sound booth were like, it's actually Rodan, and they're like, sure, and of course,
try that one more time.
Try one more time, please. And they're like, okay, and they're like, we have to go do something with Radon, and and they're just like, okay, well, you know what, we're just gonna leave it, and just we're not gonna change.
Get out.
Anyways,
so
yeah,
after this initial altercation with Rodan and Godzilla,
yeah,
I assume that they just drop everything and get the fuck out of Dodge.
But that's what
because there's 2 giant monsters duking it out on this island.
I'm not even going to lie to you. The second, if I had any kind of credentials to do this, the second I saw Rodan...
If you had any kind of survival instinct.
100%. That's what I'm saying. The second I saw Rodan perch up on the mountainside and start squawking.
I wouldn't say a fucking word. I'd just make a run for it.
I would be the first one grabbing the keys of the helicopter and spooling up that engine.
Because
you know it.
Hey guys, let's
hey guys. I wouldn't even do that. I'd be like, everybody in. And I'd be like, it's like
right.
I mean, in the helicopter.
First fucking thing.
Yeah. I would just start the engine and expect them to all collect up their shit and get in.
You have 5 minutes.
Yeah. I'll do what I did. I'll do what I'll do in Helldivers. I whip that car around and I say, "Get in, bitches. We're going shopping."
Right. And man, instead of doing that, they stay and
gawk,
watch the fight,
wide-eyed, mouth agape.
And then whenever they do all decide to get into the helicopter and leave, they still have the fucking egg.
Oh yeah,
with them
in the helicopter.
As soon as it cut to that, I was like, they still have the egg.
the thing that is causing the very fight that is breaking out right now. They're like, oh,
the MacGuffin.
Yep, you were right.
The object of Godzilla's ire.
Yep. There we have it in there, and not only that, like it. For those of you who don't know, it takes a while for a helicopter to spool up and take off. A lot of times it takes long enough that like movies will cut that shit out because it takes too long. But you better believe, like that's what I'm saying. By like the second we start seeing, I mean, to be devil's advocate, if Rodan's just like swooping around and causing a ruckus, and we're like, maybe he doesn't see us,
right? He doesn't see us. He's not actively trying to kill us. Sure, I'll take a peek. Maybe get a picture with the flash off.
You better believe that the second Godzilla literally, he doesn't even show his face. He atomic
If I
breath.
hear that motherfucker,
He atomic breaths out the water and hits Rodan. I would be
on site.
Literally on site.
Yeah.
At that point, I would, the second, like I said, I could be devil's advocate and say we're all secret hush hush, no big deal.
Right.
The second atomic breath comes flying out the water, that's when I'm like,
this went from nature walk to fucking Chernobyl disaster. Okay,
100%.
we're getting the fuck out of here.
There is a line, like a crossing line and a return.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Rodan would be my line where I would be like, but if there is like literally a line and return, that would be it. The second Godzilla shows up on the scene and there's a fight breaking out,
like, all right,
it's either out or death. That's that's what it is.
Right. Drop whatever you have.
Right.
Family photos.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
We'll come back
need
for
to
it.
leave.
If there is any remains left, we'll come back for it.
Right. Use whatever the fuck kind of anti-radiation equipment we have. If at all.
With what you should have done when at first contact with Rodan, in between that time and first contact with Godzilla, we should have been collecting up our toys,
right,
and getting out. But no,
play the cleanup game,
lollygagging around.
Yeah. Ugh.
Lucky you got out of there in life.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. You're lucky.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
But as we to kind of continue with what we're talking about before, they have this big egg, and it's in this big chamber. They got a bunch of probes on it, all that stuff. Right. And then our main man, Aoki, is like just busting into, like, take pictures of it. And I'm like, is this not like, there's no security?
What are you?
Yeah, who are you? You're not supposed to be here.
Yeah. And
he's like, I'm just a guy. And I was like,
all right, cool, leave.
And like, and this is also, I also don't understand this. It kind of infuriates me that, like, I'm not saying he has rank, because obviously he doesn't.
Right.
But he is part of, like, the Godzilla
G-force.
counter, like, G-force.
Right.
I'm not going to say that like has pull in this scientific laboratory setting with this giant egg.
Yeah.
But like at the very, I mean, I feel like
he just busts on in there.
Anybody who's anybody, like, I mean, this probably tells people who I am as a person. But as a person in the music industry or in the film industry, like, the second you walk into a place and act like you're supposed to be there and just, like, talk enough of the right talk,
right,
or have a mission, a lot of times you can get into
there's a chance you'll get away with it.
You can get into a lot of places, that's all I'm saying. There's a big joke online, a handful of years ago that was like, if you walk around with a hard hat and a clipboard or a hard hat and a ladder, like, you can get into anywhere, really. Right. If you have enough confidence and you just go like, I'm changing light bulbs, I'm with the maintenance department, and people will be like,
an appointment.
Yeah, right. I'm scheduled to come here. I got the reflective vest. I got the hard hat. We got to get this shit done. I'm in and out. Right. They'd be like, just let me know where you got to go. Let me know what you got to get into. And the reason I'm saying all that is I'm not saying that it would have any pull, but you got to believe, like, if you have a camera and you have the jacket with the patches of, like, I'm with the UNGCC, the UNG if you will.
Right.
I would walk up in there at least with, like, a puffed up chest, going like, "Hey, ma'am, my name is."
What's the status of the egg?
My name is. I wouldn't. Not even. I would walk in there, hand outstretched. Hey, my name is Aoki. I'm here with the UNGCC. I'm here to take pictures of this sample that you have here for our archives as well. Right. If you could just go ahead and tell me what you have so far on the, whatever. Just, I mean, who knows if it would even work out or not? But, like, shoot your shot, man.
This motherfucker had no build up.
No. He walked over there like
no confidence.
Literally, she was like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I'm just a guy."
We see him
like, what the hell?
Step out of the vehicle in front of this research facility.
I thought he was gonna go up the stairs,
like with a camera.
Yeah.
Looks giddy as a schoolgirl. Tips his hat and then just makes a break for it.
Yeah.
And he just walks into the lab. Doesn't say a fucking word. Just starts taking pictures.
Right.
Like,
all
what
right.
are you thinking?
Oh, crazy.
You guys got to be on the spectrum or some shit.
I mean, maybe
dinosaur freak.
Yeah, hell yeah. He's out here like, I gotta give me a picture of this Pteranodon.
Right, that's a big ass egg.
Who are you? I don't know. I'm here to take pictures.
I'm the
of
guy
this.
with the camera.
Yeah.
For pictures of
I'm here
the
to
egg.
take pictures. So yeah. Anyways, they start like giving you some more details about this new version of Mechagodzilla and what all they've done for it. And all the special stuff they got going on.
Right. How they're now welding it back together after it was obliterated.
Yeah. It was literally pushed
to the ground.
And curb stomped, literally.
Oh, yeah.
Godzilla out here like, it's my streets.
Right. Fuck off.
It's my
Man.
Tin. It's
I shall eat these nuts, Tin Man.
I'm sorry, what? That's so good.
One of my favorites.
Obsolete these nuts. Oh, wow. I feel, oh, man. I'm just a child.
Right.
I'm just a 13-year-old boy at heart.
That's what you get when you listen to us.
It doesn't get much better than that.
Ooh, be sure to share that with your
please.
6-year-old nephew.
He's going to get a kick out of that one.
Right.
Oh, man. That's so funny. So, yeah, they're welding them together and trying to get him all squared away again because he got...
Right. Back from the brink.
Really. And then what takes place after? Is this where the egg starts to hatch, or am I getting ahead of myself?
Yeah, they bring in a bunch of students from the
my gosh
ESP department.
The
bunch of psychic children,
the star children,
who
they're meditating in these prisms.
Right, just gathering energy around a sample of a plant that somehow now emits a song.
I don't know.
And the plant song then causes the egg to hatch.
I made the joke that I was like, those Wicca or like Wiccan girls that also like, they're big into like astrology.
Gather energy and fucking crystals.
Yeah, they got crystals and rocks they charge by the full moonlight. Dude, there was definitely a point where I was like, the second that we saw them and we saw these kids like meditating in these like wire prisms, I was like, boy, they definitely
it's the Wiccan warriors.
The Wiccan warrior. They definitely pray to some rocks,
right?
And they feel good. And the second that they got them all surrounded, it was kind of creepy. I thought it was gonna be like a ritual. It was. It looked like it looked like 20 children, I think, that all had like hands outreached and they're all like on this like sample. I was like,
focusing their energies.
And this is what I'm talking about. It's at this moment that I'm like, you're watching
a Godzilla movie.
You're watching
this
a
Godzilla movie.
I'm not even. You don't even have to. You don't even have to say it that many times to convince yourself. I just had to say it once because I'm like, makes sense.
Right. It's
like,
oh wait,
this is a Godzilla movie.
That's right.
It makes sense. You mean to tell me one of our main actresses can have telepathy with Godzilla?
Right. Straight up talk to that motherfucker.
And then I forgot that she did that in the prequels to all these movies. And I was like, I forgot about that.
Now I remember.
Not only are we dealing with big kaiju monsters, a robot effigy of said kaiju monster, and star children. I was like, it doesn't get much better than that. We're dealing with
that's par for the course. That's basic shit.
yeah. That's foundational.
Yeah.
It only goes. I would say it gets weirder. Actually.
Yeah.
Was it Megalon or was it? Which one was the one where they had the space people that were living underneath the earth in the caves? The aliens.
That was Megalon. Yes. The Ceetopians.
The Ceetopians, dude.
The underground country of humans that we just don't know about for some reason.
I loved that because it was that is what I'm talking about. Of like that retro future aesthetic space alien. Cave dwelling alien. Dude, that's what I'm talking about.
Ancient yet somehow super advanced civilization.
Like I'm saying, what we just watched with Mechagodzilla 2 is weird, but baseline.
Tip of the iceberg.
It gets weirder, and I love it. The one with, is it Ultraman?
Jet Jaguar.
Jet Jaguar. Dude.
Same type of tokusatsu vibe, yeah.
wacky.
Mm-hmm.
It gets weirder. But
I also have Ultraman. We need to watch some fucking Ultraman.
I haven't watched any Ultraman, and I feel like I look at the two, and they kind of.
I remember I showed you some of the fights where Ultraman will fire a beam at one of the monsters, and they'll just fucking explode.
Yeah. Oh man.
Like there will be a slight pause, and then they'll explode.
Love it.
It's the best.
It's comedic timing.
Yeah,
I love that. So yeah, but anyways. The egg hatches at a certain point, and what we thought was going to be a Pteranodon or what I thought was going to be like a mini Rodan.
Mm-hmm. Turned out to be a little baby Godzilla.
And I was like, oh gosh, here we go. Not another creepy, scary baby Godzilla. But I was like, okay, it's actually not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No, it's no Manila.
God, there's some of those look.
You want to
terrible.
talk about a clay effigy, dude? That's a homunculus.
That shit nasty.
Yeah,
dude, I'm telling you, like, there's a couple of them. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't want to say what I really think because it's 100% gonna offend people.
Okay.
But I want to. But I'm not going to.
Right.
I'm not going to.
Yeah.
You gotta go behind the paywall for that one.
That's right.
Before I start really shooting myself in the foot. But anyways.
Yeah. Thankfully, they decide not to make this thing hideous.
It wasn't too bad.
It's definitely goofy looking.
Yeah.
But it could have been worse.
It has been worse.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked at it and I was like, I mean, for what it's trying to depict, I was like, I think it works out.
Mm-hmm.
It has very little teeth. It's got like a lighter shade of like a lighter shade of blue kind of skin, as if it hasn't got its pigment right or whatever. It's like it feels. I mean, like I said, it feels good.
Yeah,
especially because it's also like a puppet and things like that. So it's really cool. I thought it was interesting, but I didn't like that they called it Baby. I wish they would have given it like a real name, but like they talked about
Godzilla sword just doesn't quite.
Yeah. No, but like why
Baby?
Why couldn't I mean like I would even like Little G or just G or just like or something. Even that's a little cuter than
that. Is totally what I'm going to use.
That's what I'm talking about. Like Little G. That just came off the dome and it's a better name. Or why couldn't it be, man. I don't know.
He's about to drop his new mixtape.
Yeah, it's my boy Lil G.
Yeah. Newborn Nuisance.
Hell, that's good. That's a good album title. But anyways, I have done work in the past with this is gonna sound a bit out of left field, but I promise it's all going to come back around.
Okay.
I have dealt with people and professionals in the natural birth world, and also like in the medical field and in the birth world, dealing with pregnancy and babies. And so a lot of times they'll use the terminology baby when referring to the fetus or like the child in your womb.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't know what the gender is or if you choose not to or whatever. So they'll use the terminology of like, we have to take care of the mother and baby.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like when they use that, like, so, cause again, obviously the parents don't usually have a name picked out either, and so they're not going to name the child.
It's
not
vague.
Right. It's not an it. It's not a he. It's not a she. It's not a name. It's like so. It is baby. Mm-hmm. So like we have to take care of baby. We have to take care, or baby's acting a bit weird, like here and there, like doing like that. So that's like it's just a terminology that I've heard before with working with people in that industry for a brief time. And so every time they were like, "But baby, no," and like, or like, "We can't do this, baby," and I was like, it didn't feel like a name.
The slow turn.
It just felt
the
like
lady just says, "Baby."
Oh gosh, it didn't feel like it didn't feel like a name. It felt probably because again, of my past experience, it felt like a title. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it felt like we don't know what you are, so we're just gonna call you this blank canvas.
Call you baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like having a dog and calling a dog. No, dog, please. Which when you think of it like that, actually kind of funny.
K9, come back.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We have a film that we make. It's just a guy who's just like, I love you so much, dog.
I love you, dog.
I love you, dog. You're my companion, dog.
Oh, that one fucking like Penn and Teller skit. Oh, dude.
Oh, man. So, what happens after the egg hatches and we have our little G out?
They get this motherfucker cozy.
Oh, yeah.
They give him his own indoor habitat.
Yep.
They're playing games with the motherfucker. They give him shoes to chew on.
They're domesticating this bitch.
Yeah. Domesticating a Godzillasaur.
Yep. Little G.
The most undomesticatable creature on the fucking planet.
I don't know. They're doing a pretty good job.
Steward of the earth.
Steward of the earth. That's great.
You cannot.
Nah.
At this stage, he may be all cute and cuddly. And
It's
he may cry over you at one point or another.
I had this discussion recently with some people. Mm-hmm. We were talking about pigs.
Yeah.
And they were talking about, it was like farm type stuff or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they were saying like, they were saying like this woman in particular was talking about how she loves pigs or just loves like, we were talking about the fact that also like pigs will eat anything.
Oh, yeah.
Like the same thing with like chickens. Like you can give chickens almost anything.
Put whatever the fuck you want in that trough and they'll just
I was like,
hammer away at it.
You're right. And I was like, that kind of grosses me out and it kind of scares me. Is it literally a pig will just eat anything like that? That makes me kind of grossed out in many different levels. And it's like psychologically too, where it's just like that it's just a consumption beast.
Consumption beast.
Where it's like, dude, it just literally you just put anything in front of it and it eats it. Like it doesn't matter what it is. That's terrifying.
Bring out the consumption.
Yeah. I know. I was gonna trigger.
Oh my god, it's just so fucking funny.
The thing that I said, and I quote, was that they were saying how much they love like little pigs, like little baby pigs, and I was like, as a human being, I could look at that baby pig and understand that it is cute. Right. And understand that people will find that cute. Mm-hmm. But I look at it and I think to myself, and I say to it, but I know what you can become. I know what you will become. This big, massive, like animal that I'm just like, that's just kind of nasty too sometimes. I know, and I know that I'm generalizing. I'm not saying all pigs are that way.
Yeah.
But more often than not, they're a bit gross. And I'm like, I know, thank you. Mm-hmm. And so what I'm saying is that they're looking at this thing and they're trying to domesticate a little G. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you're this cute, small, cuddly animal. I was like, but I would look at it and go, but I know what you're going to become.
That thing could easily bite your head off if it felt like it.
Just wait till it gets to adolescent. It's like 4 stories tall.
Right. It's going to start looking at houses and being like,
it's mighty tasty.
I could totally break that thing.
There was a couple times in this movie specifically that Godzilla saw tall towers of things and was like, get that shit out of here. Right. Anything that was taller than him, he immediately was like cutting it down to size.
Is for me.
Is for me. He saw a power line. He was like, right out of here.
He gets what seemingly looks to be frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
After taking a beating from Mechagodzilla and like none of his attacks are working. So he just goes to the nearest like
tall
cell
thing.
tower and just fucking destroys it.
Just pulls it down.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Literally like a man like tearing down drapes. Right. Like a guy just getting upset goes,
it's the same brand of like inanimate object anger.
Yeah.
That people are subject to every so often.
Yeah. Or I don't know if you've ever experienced this or have seen a video of somebody like running into something and it hitting them and they get pissed off and hit it again.
Yeah,
and they just
they're
getting pissed off at this door or whatever the hell it is. They're just like, before you know it, they just like rip off the whole thing rage.
My headphones get caught on the door handle.
Yeah.
So now the door has no handle.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I felt that in a minor way when my headphones have gotten caught on the little knobs we have in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I'll turn and it will yank them out of my ears and it'll hurt. I'm like, get the fuck! I'll slam the drawer and I'm like, what the freak? Get the shit out of here.
Oh man.
Anyways, so
it's crazy how that shit'll just set you off for no reason.
Well, I think it's also a man thing too. We got all the we got a big firecracker and a very tiny fuse.
Jesus.
But anyway, so they're trying to domesticate little G.
Right. To no avail.
To no avail.
Right. He gets cozy with the lady that was researching him as an egg. But I mean, that's about it.
Right.
He's able to goof around with okay. I just have to preface.
All right.
At this point, whenever they've got little G moved into his habitat,
right,
and Aoki has constructed. What would you describe this as, Ian?
I don't even know.
It is a piloted hovercraft in the shape of a Pteranodon. That revs like a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And it works. He just made this thing within the past few days while this fucking crisis has been happening with these giant fucking monsters.
It really pisses me off.
That makes me upset.
It makes me upset of how dumb his character is at the beginning.
Right.
And he's just
like, I just
made this thing. I'm like, get out.
Who built that for you?
Bullshit.
Who in the tech department did you bribe to construct that machine?
What engineers that created Mechagodzilla did you get to whip that up and so you could put your name on it?
Right. All you've worked on is the fucking Garuda.
That is the equivalent of you stole all the credit on the team science experiment.
Yeah. You signed your name the biggest.
Yeah, of course you did.
Ugh. So they end up having this little moment and just take it for a spin above little G's habitat.
Yeah.
All the while he's just sitting there fucking staring at it what the hell is it?
Having PTSD.
What are they doing? I remember one shot, it's just his face looking up. And I just went,
oh, yeah.
Because it looked like you just made this fucking snort motion and it just fucking sent me over the edge.
I love it.
Anytime they give his face some screen time, it's the funniest fucking shit.
Yeah.
Because at one point they realize that Rodan is now attacking the city trying to find little G, supposedly.
Right. And by the way, he didn't die. He's now revived and is Super Rodan now.
Yeah. They play this they
play
this fucking song whenever the ESP choir comes in to sing a song for little G. Just trying to get his opinion since he's a fucking god, a lyrical genius.
Right.
And from miles away on the island that he supposedly died on, Rodan hears that shit and is like, damn.
Like a phoenix rising from the ashes.
This is my shit. And then
this is my shit.
And then he evolves into Fire Rodan.
Have you seen the meme of all the ones where they're so and so playing Fetty Wap on the JBL speaker?
Yes.
They just had all the star children playing Fetty Wap on the
that was enough.
The
and he was
JBL
like,
speakers.
This is my fucking jam.
My shit, dude.
And he's immediately up and about again with new powers.
Yes.
His tailwinds are now explosive.
May I say, there is a moment that we brushed over at the beginning whenever Rodan is fighting Godzilla in the water. And I don't know if this was a creative decision or what it was, but whenever he would fly through, underneath the water, you would see the explosions that would fly up in these these parallel lines, with his wings. So it looked like he was doing a strafing run towards Godzilla,
just a fucking bombing run.
Yeah, just doing a bombing run towards him. And I think it's so. I thought it was so funny because I was like, he's sending in bogeys and he's shooting. But it's the same thing where I feel like Rodan in this fire demon mode is even more hostile than Godzilla is because he's just swooping around and lighting this city on fire. It's wild.
Oh yeah, he's got the fucking atomic breath now.
Oh
too.
Yeah,
he's a force to be reckoned with.
Crazy.
So they come up with a plan to get him to safety in some form or another. And we just see the rest of them just in the same shot, and then little G's off to the left side just staring at the camera like, yeah,
yeah,
that sounds like a good idea.
I can understand
like he's part of the conversation.
Yeah.
But as soon as they find out that Godzilla's on the way, everybody's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, damn it.
So they just hide out in the building, in the same research lab. They don't move. They don't run.
Right.
Because I guess they just don't have any way to transport little G. And that might or might not be the safest place for them right now.
Right.
So after Godzilla thoroughly destroys Rodan again,
yep,
he makes his way romping around, doing his due.
Yep.
And he makes it to the building that they're in, and he just moseys on up to it, like quietly, just like stares at it for a little bit, almost as if he's like peeking inside to see if he can find the baby.
Yep.
And then he like fires off a warning shot with his atomic breath, and then just starts tearing that shit up.
Yeah.
Takes a little off the top, and then just gets bored and walks away.
Yep. Just like that.
Yeah. So
there's a point where we get to the I may be skipping a little bit, but just for time's sake, we get.
Wait, what are we at?
An hour.
Shit.
We get to a point where the is it the Gruda is like the backpack ship thing.
Mm-hmm.
We get to the point where, again, and I kind of like this from a filmmaking perspective. We talked about this before on this podcast, and for those of you at home, say it with me: Chekhov's gun.
Right.
If you're gonna play
Chekhov's Garuda.
If you're gonna place a gun in a scene at some point in the film, it needs to pay off before the end.
Right.
And the fact that our inept, goofy goober, Aoki, is over here digging around in the Garuda at the beginning of the film.
Trying to convince the chief of the engineering department to use it in some way, shape, or form.
Yes. And at this point, we just see the Garuda take off, not knowing what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the most Aoki fashion,
they try to get in touch with Johnson, who's supposed to be like,
right.
I don't know if they actually decided to bring the Garuda out or not, but evidently
he's supposed to be the
Aoki,
point of contact,
right? And he just responds with, "It's me," and the dude's like, "Who is me?
Me who?"
Right.
We can't see you.
Like,
it's over.
As if you didn't get enough of an impression that this dude is just not the sharpest banana in the bunch.
As if you answer a phone with like a phone number you don't recognize, and they're like, "Hey, it's me," and you're like, "Who are you?"
Oh, you don't recognize me?
And I'm like, "Not over the phone."
It's me, dude.
I mean, unless you have like a very distinct voice or a strong accent that I could probably notice. Like, I mean,
yeah,
no
way, bro.
And he's like, "It's me."
All right.
I decided to take it out. And he's like, what? Why? Who?
What the fuck are you on, man?
Are you qualified for that?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Last I checked, you were still new to this squad. You're over here flying.
And also a geek.
Yeah,
a dinosaur freak.
A freaking nerd. Oh, yeah. So anyways, he ends up, whenever it attaches to the back of...
Dude.
Mechagodzilla, it becomes
Super Mechagodzilla.
Super Mechagodzilla.
Master Asia type shit.
Yes. The undefeated of the East.
Right. And he tears him
Super
up.
Godzilla, the defeated of the one time.
Dude. And they kick his ass.
Yeah.
For once.
Yeah.
I swear, it's like everybody in the cockpit was like, holy shit.
We may actually do this.
We fucking we crippled it.
Yeah.
He's on the ground.
Yeah.
We blew up that fucker's second brain.
Yeah. Don't get arrogant.
Right.
Isn't his second brain in his thick thighs?
Just like in like the base
hips,
of the base of your spine, like at the bottom. Yeah. So
he's got that dump truck ass and he has a second brain in it.
Right. Call him a smart ass.
Yeah.
So
man,
they throw out those like discharge harpoons and tase the fuck out of his brain, and it explodes.
Yeah.
After which Godzilla falls to the ground,
crazy,
writhing in pain.
Yeah.
And they just unload everything.
Oh yeah. There's a point in time where they have
the
all
cockpit is like fire all weapons.
Yeah. Yeah, both shoulder cannons. He's doing the breath. He's got
the eye beams, the plasma grenade,
the gut punch. Yeah, he's got everything. Yeah, he's out here blasting them, dude.
Man.
So there I was blasting.
Right. After which point, he's like dead.
Oh yeah.
And Rodan, after being mutilated,
right, for the second time,
like open chest wounds, bleeding from the mouth. Dude's on his last legs. Decides to get up and make a fucking Hail Mary. And they see
up for
him,
some reason.
Right. They see him flying again. He's like, Rodan's still alive. Yep. So Mechagodzilla's head immediately turns and just fires a fucking beam at him. He goes like, okay, crash landing. And he lands on top of Godzilla and is like, this is the last of my hormone. Take it from me.
Yes.
And resurrects the motherfucker on the spot. Gives him the red beam.
Yep.
This resurrection sequence for Godzilla is one of my favorite little visual effects in the film. Because in the Heisei series, he's got those like fucking beams like shooting out of him, like the fucking like just the fuck off attack is what I like to call it, because he usually only uses it if he's like being overwhelmed or is like grappled in some way.
Right.
And man, it's gas.
It's so gas.
It's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
After that, they're stunned. Godzilla has become so powerful that Mechagodzilla is now starting to melt.
Yep.
Just by being in his presence.
Yep. The thing is, like, it really does feel like a power up in a video game, like a special boost.
Rage.
Yeah. Like Rodan dies, and he's like, "Here, take my fire enchantment."
Right.
And he takes it upon himself, and he's like, "You now have fire breath." And it's like,
you've unlocked a new ability.
Your atomic breath now has burn damage.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Dude.
And it turns it red. Yeah.
It's perfect.
It's great. I love it. It felt really fun. And this is what I'm talking about, dude. It's just, you watch a Godzilla movie and you're like, I mean, of course, Rodan sacrifices himself to give
for the big G,
to give him
the
king of monsters, to give him a little boost at the end.
Oh yeah.
What is it called whenever you you don't die from something but overcome it and you get stronger because of it?
A Zenkai boost.
Is that is that what this would be considered?
I'd say so.
Okay, cool.
Albeit assisted.
Okay, hey,
right, but I mean it works.
A Zenkai by proxy.
Yeah,
there you go. I love it. A Deus Ex Zenkai boost. Yeah, so anyways.
Zenkai boost from God.
yeah.
Oh man.
So, anyways, we start. I Godzilla obviously
starts unloading that shit.
He starts putting them in his place again.
A
for
new
the second
ability?
time.
I'm gonna abuse this shit to Kingdom Come.
Hell yeah!
Obliterates Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, enough so that the onboard computer is like, damage level is at 10. There are no survivors.
Which is apparently the max level of damage.
That
you can sustain.
At one point, I think they were at 8.
Yeah,
it was pretty badly damaged. So you're like, I mean, hey, okay, I don't know how high this goes, but
that's damn close to 10, bro.
Yeah. That's about
2 digits away.
That's pretty gnarly. Yeah. So, anyways, and of course, I love how they're like, there are no survivors, and it was like at least all 4 or 5 of them.
Right. The entire crew survived.
Right. Yeah. Right. And of course, he just goes, "Well, that's not true."
Right. You're wrong about that one.
You're wrong about that one. It's
man.
What the? How does it? I'm confused. Right. But okay, we'll just accept it.
It just assumed that with the absolute ass beating it received, nobody could have survived.
Yeah. You mean to tell me that the outer shell of it was melting?
Humans,
nah.
Inside this fucking what might as well be a microwave now.
Yeah.
Somehow alive.
Right, yeah. Your hot tin can.
Right. They had windows in this thing.
Crazy.
No cameras. Just straight up glass windows.
Yeah.
That are able to withstand Godzilla's atomic breath.
Of course. I love how we have artificial diamond plated armor and it's getting melted by Godzilla's just awesome power.
Right. The heat.
Hell yeah.
The smoke.
And the smoke. The freaking gas that is Godzilla.
Dude. Man.
So
you
good.
cannot beat it.
Dude. And then of course in this like crazy sequence where like this gong get moment with little G.
Right.
They're like, we can't take you back. And I'm like, I don't know why. Well, they're like, because I mean, at this point, he's doing okay so far. It's like you could probably
he's still small. He's still a baby.
You could probably still
he's still baby.
You could still he's still baby. you could slowly but surely acclimate him to like his other surroundings and help. But you like have to get in this helicopter and leave him behind.
Right,
and that's just cold turkey. And of course, he doesn't want to leave. He's
just get out of here, you dumb animal.
Get out, Rodan. Get away,
dude. What really sends it home to is the fact that as they're leaving, little Junior runs up to old bitch ass, grabs her by the dress, like, don't leave, mama.
It's like tugging on her, be like, no, please.
She's like, I gotta go, bitch.
Yeah, I can't.
And then we see him cry.
Yep, we see one single tear roll down.
He fucking cries.
And that, again, these puppets look really good. Like, I mean,
that's a suit.
Oh, a suit. I mean, puppet. It's still the same thing. Like, I mean, like it's not computer generated.
Right. Whatever tech they got in there is real.
It's practical, and so it looks like it's a suit. It looks like it's kind of like a animatronic kind of puppet type thing, like that kind of vibe. But whenever you see the tear roll down, you're like, damn, like this is kind of.
Damn. They're making me feel for this fucking guy in a rubber suit.
It really does feel a little more realistic than it does before.
Yeah.
But anyways, they end up going away, and of course, like as Dylan so eloquently put, old bitch ass goes over the radio
with
and
her
is like
telepathic powers.
Yes.
You gotta let G know.
Yeah.
That little baby has to go with him.
Yeah. And she's like, I can try. So she stands on
the try is the most appropriate word.
She stands on the remains of Mechagodzilla and just like closes her eyes and goes, eh. And
take the baby with you.
Yeah. And he just like looks over there at it and goes,
the hell? Where'd you come from?
Yeah.
Why are you so small?
Walks away.
I can only assume it's so small because it isn't like irradiated.
Yeah.
And it's just a normal Godzilla sore.
Yeah.
So Godzilla's like looking at this thing like, what the
what a
freak. Jesus.
You're microscopic compared to me.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But in true fashion, they end up walking off into the sunset, slowly being submerged into the water.
Yep.
And then I said at the very end, I love that at the end of this, we still have Godzilla being on top.
Right.
And I laughed the idea of Godzilla beating this artificial. I think a comment that was said at the end of the film was like how I can't remember
life
what was said.
Will always triumph over artificial life.
Right. And I was like, and then I had like a revelation. I just had this idea of like, I love how Godzilla not only beat this thing's ass once, but it overcame, but Godzilla came back even stronger and killed it a second time.
Right.
And I was like, I just love the idea of Godzilla being like, I am the one true king. I'm the one true god of this land, and I will take your metal.
Supplant my throne.
You try to come here and worship this metal effigy of me, I'll come back and destroy it and show you who's really here to worship.
Right.
You come here and you bow to me and me alone.
Get on my good side.
Yeah. I need you to understand that I'm the king here.
Let me have a nuclear reactor every now and then.
I'm the captain.
Steward of the earth.
Steward of the earth. And this false god here you pray to, I will burn down with my atomic fire breath. But anyways, what a fun movie. What a great time. Before we wrap up, I know we're running a bit long, but I wanted to talk about one of our comments.
Oh, yeah.
That was talked about recently, and it was about our previous episode on Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind. He said one of the most underrated films by the studio. Didn't know it was their first. So thanks for that fun fact. P.S. I wonder what carpet color is so atrocious that Mother Nature decided to take matters into her own hands and cause a ruckus. And all I have to say to that is, again, for anybody who hasn't seen the previous episode, I go into more detail about it. During the big freeze down here in the south, a pipe bust, my office got flooded, and I made a offhanded comment that I never really cared for the paint on the walls or the selection of carpet. Right. And again, I didn't have that decision. That was way before I got there. Yeah. But it's just the combination of the two is like, because it was done at the same time. So when
surely this is
so when the carpet was laid down, the wall paint was chosen because that was what was all. It was a whole renovation of the office space, and the wall shade is of a how I could describe it is a green gray.
Ugh.
It is a light kind of pale green, desaturated kind of in like, you know what I'm saying, like in like a gray spectrum. So it's not super bright, but it's also like, but why that color?
Right.
And then
out of all the other ones,
I got a picture of the carpet, and maybe I can try and post this somewhere. I don't think YouTube will allow me to post it in the comment section, like a picture of it. But I got a picture of the carpet. I
think they can do a community post.
You're right. I probably could. I could put a community post on there, and I'll make sure to tag our buddy.
Dreaded carpet.
The carpet is a wow. I don't even know how to describe it. It's going to sound chaotic, but it's a little more subtle than that. But it also is just as bad as I'm saying it is.
Oh.
It is a shade of brown, a bit on like the medium side, but there
medium
are like
brown.
A nice medium brown, some would say. But there are like flecks of green, flecks of purple, flecks of red, and kind of like that's it's again, so it's not as it's not nearly probably as bad as your mind is immediately going to, but it also is
awful.
It is not good. It is not
straight up dookie.
And it's also it's like short carpet, so it's not like it's like long fluffy stuff. It's like normal like office carpet.
Right.
But I think in the right context, the carpet probably wouldn't be too bad. But the walls got to go, buddy.
Right.
My office is.
Don't got to worry about it anymore.
Nah, you're right. Well, I'm nervous because I don't know if the walls are going to
just do the same thing.
No. Hey, I will make sure that does not happen.
Right.
What I'm nervous about is I don't think the walls need to get painted. I think they may need to, but I just don't know. And I'm nervous.
Just convince them to go the extra mile.
I'm nervous they're not gonna. They're gonna
for a penny and for a pound.
They're gonna skimp out on it because it's gonna cost them money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe the insurance can do something. I just don't know. But I know for a fact the carpet's got to replace because the carpet's already up. The carpet's tore up.
Yeah.
Toe up, as you know,
from the flow up.
Not even the flow is toe. That's it. Is what it is. Full stop. So, anyways, maybe I'll make a community post and I'll place that picture there of the carpets. That way we all can
dare to look.
We all can submit a little throw up emoji.
Yeah.
But the one thing I'm nervous about is that if we get carpet and don't change the wall color, I don't even know if I can do this or not. I may ask around, but I may
just make an executive decision.
I may try and repaint my office.
Damn.
Like
just go the extra mile.
The office is it's well, I don't want to toot my own horn. It's a pretty sizable office. But I think for what? Like I can probably get like a 5-gallon bucket.
Maybe.
Or maybe a couple of pints or whatever it is. Or what is a paint bucket?
I'm not sure.
A small paint bucket go for?
I haven't painted in years.
I think if I am being conservative, I could probably get it done in 3.
All right.
And it has been a long time since I've painted a room. So somebody in the comments may go like, haha, you fool.
Right.
You need a 5-gallon bucket for an entire room.
It's Sherman Williams.
Yeah, right.
Himself.
Yeah. Mr. Williams himself is like, haha, you fool.
Idiot.
You rookie. But what I'm saying is like, I don't know how much that costs.
Right.
But if I can find a nice, cool color, depending on what carpet we go with, I may, because I don't.
It can't be what it is.
It can't be that bad.
It cannot stay.
I mean,
this cannot continue.
It's not that bad. If we get a carpet that somehow complemented the greenish gray, again, it's very subtle. The paint on the wall, so it's not bad, but it's also not good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's squarely, and again, I think what made the whole selection bad was the paint color on the wall paired with the bad choice of carpet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's like you're kind of, it's like neither one of these is so bad that, that like you can't use it for anything.
Right.
But it's like, but the fact that you chose them both at the same time is like, you're really not letting either one of these shine.
Not awful on their own, but somehow worse together.
100%. 100%. So anyways, that's just a little, I wanted to touch on that while we were here at the end of the episode. But anyways, thank you so much for listening to us ramble about Godzilla yet again. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support and your Continuous feedback on us being able to ramble about all these great movies and shows and things that we're doing. As we've said before many times, this gives me so much pleasure to just kind of like sit down with my bud and just kind of hang out and talk and shoot the shit.
Back to the basics.
And I tell you what, dude, with how this movie ended up going and how it was just a vibe from the start with tea and with the rain and all that kind of stuff, and then for us to sit here and just, I mean, I had some good laughs in this episode. We said some pretty funny shit here.
Yeah, it was a good time.
It makes me happy, and it brings me joy, and I'm glad that
this is the reason.
This
is why we do
what we do. So, anyways, I appreciate you for listening again. Thank you for all your feedback. And if you want to try and subscribe to any of the platforms that you listen to or try and find us, you know how to get a hold of us. Leave us a like, leave us a comment, all those different stuff. As we've said in the past before, if you type in @Hindsight Studios, you can find the podcast there, or you can also find the different podcasting platforms we stream to. So you know how to find us. And if not, just reach out, leave a comment, and I'll, you know where to find me. I'm around. Yeah. I got the new Polaroid camera. I haven't started posting pictures yet, but I'm going to. So if you want to, you can go to Instagram @IanWolf, WOLFFE, and you can look at some of the cool pictures I'm going to be posting hopefully pretty recently. So yeah. But until next week, thank you so much for listening.
See you.
Bye-bye.